And then I've got to eat Syracuse, and that's most of the peninsula taken, and we continue expanding in the north. And then we can fiddle about doing what else we want to do. It's going to be a long, dirty war. So first thing first, you guys need to embark onto the boat. These boats need to go over here. Need to raise the armies. There's not a lot of armies to be raised. Take this 17k, land them over here. Bring these guys over here to do a fight. My ships got smacked. Easy victory. Now we're going to finish crushing what's left of these filthy Carthaginians. What nation is this? Before we do this, that is Abirid's mercenaries. Yes, I'll take that. Ah, let me hire you. Bit of a shame there, but not the end of the world. What I tell you, you piece of garbage. Well, this hasn't gone according to plan. A lot of my army is collapsing. Not really the plan. Okay, white piece. I don't think so. Reload. Save scum, save scum, save scum. So primarily everything is so woefully simplistic. There's no complexity to the game. It's just blob, and then once you finish blobbing, effectively it's a bit like Stellaris. You blob early, and then you come across a big empire next to you, and then you can't blob anymore, so you stagnate for a while and see who else you can blob into. There's no real complexity in terms of the government system. Like, you don't have to pay any attention to this. There's no complexity for the pop system. Altogether, it's just expand, 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 and that's all you do. With the occasional stop if your stability gets too low. Which, don't get me wrong, isn't that bad, but you know, if you like blobbing, it's alright. But that's why we have mods, lol. Yeah. Right. Mods will fix it. Yeah, you can always go if you want to buy it and see if you can find a mod that will fix the game for you, and by all means, give it a go. But I would stay well clear from that. Yes, indeed, mods will fix it. So even the combat itself isn't very complex. They've got things like shock, but effectively they'll pick for you which is the best one for your army composition. Your military tech just follows, go down the tech tree and you get flat bonuses like EU4. And really the thing that would have made this game would have been the scheming amongst the senators. Unfortunately, there's not much scheming there. Basically, if you get the risk of civil war, you give them money. I would probably go with EU4. EU4 is probably something closer that you probably enjoy more and has got a higher level depth to it. Oh, even though it's not as well, it's more in depth than this game. Like you can see here, I don't have to do anything. I just tell the AI, do your own thing. I can literally just go, oh, that's me up over here now. And the war will fight itself. And so you have all these, also you don't get invested in any of these characters. Like, these characters mean, unlike CK2 where you get invested with the characters you're scheming against and scheming with. Here, you just see these random characters who you can either welcome to some random family which you have no value to, or we have no interest in. And so what? Oh look, here you go. I can just press away and I know I have no tangible impact on my game. Again, it's either lose 50 gold or lose 50 gold, get 10 popularity lost. CK3 is pretty good, I think. I still play CK2 more because I think they need to add more DLC in that to, or need to expand more on CK3 because right now CK2 has a lot more going for it. Oh, because it's been out for longer. You can probably play this once and then afterwards you get bored. You will get bored. You'll play this once or twice and realise that every single nation's the same and you don't really have much of an impact on anything you do. Next, justify war. That's too expensive, too expensive. That's not too expensive. Abrogate claim, Liguria. And this is what we're doing now, just expanding elsewhere, trying to get our money's worth. Look, all I want is that territory and to make you guys tributaries. That's all I want. Okay, let's do this. Do for peace. Give me this, and then you guys become tributaries of Rome. What's the difference between a tribal vassal and a tributary? Okay, there we are. Bring these guys back. And we'll keep on expanding our tributary system elsewhere. Never ending this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, there's another gunpowder total war. I'd like to see another gunpowder total war. So we'll end this, and then we'll call it a day on Imperator Rome. But generally, as you can see, it's not as complex as others would have it. Other Paradox games, and generally revolves around expanding and expanding and expanding until you can no longer expand, and then sort of building up, and it's rather repetitive. It really just brings nothing to the other Paradox games. Yeah, if it does everything the other Paradox games does, but worse. So if you want the scheming of different families, then you should probably be going for the Crusader Kings series. If you want the politics of empires, then you could probably go with EU4. If you want pops or populations, then you probably should go with Stellaris instead, because this does all of those things, but worse. And equally, with this busy work in the top left corner, slowly driving you to madness, then incessant pop-ups that really add nothing after the first playthrough, you will quickly get bored of the game. So that's that. So what do we achieve this game? Effectively, we formed Rome. Didn't knock out Carthage, but that was in the works. You can see we're starting to steamroll now. We're continue expanding westwards, moving southwest. Eventually going to try and knock out Carthage and his rather irksome allies. I wonder if I could actually call these guys in. No. But that would be something we could potentially do for everyone if we were so inclined. Meanwhile, in the east, Macedonian NATO, there's blobs, and it's nice and well allied with massive kingdoms, so you're never going to be really able to break through and break Macedon after a certain time frame. So good luck trying to knock out Macedon, especially because it is a civilized nation. So what are the problems with this game? Effectively, as you saw, I just blobbed the entire game. I didn't really invest in my nation that much. I didn't really focus on the politics or the consuls or whoever was in charge. That was all rather ignored. And for the most part, it's just expand, expand, expand until you can steamroll and build these massively large armies or legions. At the same time, everything is rather repetitive. It's got the EU4 small nation issue where small armies just swarm you and there's not much you can do about it, and it really does bring nothing new to the table. It doesn't really give you the sense of Rome. It just gives you a blobbing map set in the Roman era, and apart from the old classical names, it's really just Imperator Rome in name alone. I only had one civil war. The other civil war because I screwed up. I tried doing a different method of countering it, but altogether, all you have to do with civil wars is just pay the guys off, or become friends with them, and you never have a civil war unless you get screwed over by an event. For the most part, the scheming between ruling houses is non-existent or irrelevant. The politics between major powers is almost impossible because of the way the political system works, is that no one will want to ally with you. The tech system is pretty linear. You just go down whichever one you want to go down, and there's no real cost or benefit. And the pop system is nice to have, but there's no point building tall when you can just build wide and blob half the map. In the end, they tried to fix a broken system, and it resulted in this sort of half-finished job, and as a result, production was discarded. So this was Imperator Rome. For those of you who want a cheap game, who want to just blob incessantly and don't really care about the finer things in the game, then by all means go ahead. But there are other Paradox games that does it 10 times better than what this game does. So I highly recommend you do not get this bad boy, because it was a disaster from start to finish.